Hi, Tim Carthon here, and I have a very important question for you. Have you all noticed how the mainstream media is attempting to marginalize current Senator and U.S. presidential candidate Bernie Sanders? Have you noticed that? Think about it. Every time they talk about him on TV, what do they say? He's a long shot, and no, they're not sure that he can this and that and win and whatever else. And of course, Hillary Clinton's going to be the candidate and blah, blah, blah. It's always about blowing him off. But here's what's crazy. They're not blowing Trump off. Bernie Sanders has way bigger crowds, way more people supporting him, yet somehow they're blowing him off and not blowing off people like Trump. Well, okay, let's say. Now they're not blowing off Trump because of ratings. That makes sense. Television stations have to make money in the whole nine. But wait a minute. If Bernie Sanders has way more support than anybody else, wouldn't you put him on your station so that all of those people supporting him can watch you? Makes sense, right? Yeah, it makes sense to anyone who actually cares about making money or him winning. But they don't want him to win. The reason they don't want him to win is because the establishment wants to keep the establishment. The establishment wants to make sure that they're the ones making the money while you're not, and they have the control. It's a 100% fact that more of the classes, actually all of the classes financially, make more money under a Democratic president than a Republican president. That's a statistical fact. Yet somehow, the guy who's saying the best way to go about it, actually, economically, what he's talking about is the best economical way to go about making sure that there's income inequality, fairness, the whole nine. So he's getting the biggest crowds because of that. The majority of the country agrees with him. Yet somehow, you keep talking about how he's a candidate, but he's on the far. No, he's not on the far anything. He beats Hillary Clinton, I think it was in Iowa and New Hampshire, with both progressives and moderate Democrats. Guess what the only area was where he didn't beat Hillary Clinton? With the conservative Democrats. I wonder why. She's establishment. I like the Clintons. I'm cool with them. You know, and all, being in charge, and they do some good things. But we need somebody who's going to get rid of the money in politics. We need somebody who's going to actually fight for the values that the majority of the country wants. Donald Trump's not that. He's fighting for a crazy majority of the Republican Party. It's like, I believe they're the majority. I don't believe there's some outliers. These people are crazy, and I think the majority of the base of the Republican Party is crazy. I believe so. I believe that they're bananas. God's guns. It's like, it's fine to love God, but you can't hate people, hate everybody else, and call yourself loving God. It's crazy. It's like they live in an alternate universe. But here you have a candidate like Bernie Sanders who's preaching love, preaching fairness, preaching all of the things that these so-called Christians want, yet somehow you want to try and marginalize them. It's because he's going to take control away from the people who's paying all of these news media individuals. He's going to take money from them. They don't want that. He's going to take power from them. They don't want that. So guess what? They keep marginalizing him, saying, oh, he might not win. He's an outside candidate, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, they keep doing that for that reason. Don't get it twisted. Don't let them get you distracted. The person that we need, who's been fighting for civil rights for 50 years, who's been saying the same message about fairness and income inequality, has been Bernie Sanders for decades. Bernie Sanders is the person we need to be president of the United States after Barack Obama. Period. Period.